Yeah, we're hot. What's up?
What's up, dude? What's going on?
You tell me, man. I feel like I know a very little bit about you, even though we've known each other for 10 plus years.
I mean, I think I first met you when those games are running over by TI or maybe in Garland, possibly. The 1-1 game, the infamous like 1-1 game where people would buy them for like $20, but there'd be like thousands of blue chips on the table.
It's funny, people were just buying it for $20, but they'd be stuck $1,000.
Right, it's crazy, yeah, for real. Some people like buying $20 or $40 at a time. The game would be crazy. But then I remember you always had the side game too, and at the time I was like so wet behind the ears playing poker, so I was kind of like was intimidated to even like stick my head in the other room, you know?
Yeah.
Because you guys were always playing so big.
And now you play big. You're a big boy player now.
I mean, not all the time, but you know, when I'm able to have the opportunity, you know.
So how did you roll into poker?
Shit. I mean, I've learned how to play poker with like my family, like, you know, years ago as a kid. Like my grandpa and like my great uncles and my uncles and everybody, they'd always play poker like after like holidays and stuff.
It's like a $5 game, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That would turn into like, you know, they've been putting hundreds of dollars on the table, you know.
A family.
Yeah, 5 cent, 10 cent or something. Like.
And then eventually bad blood comes out. People owe each other money.
Yeah.
So I get it. Everyone starts with like their family and stuff. So where do you stand in the poker world now? In the Dallas poker world now? Like what kind of games you play? Or what's your biggest hand? Or what's the most exciting thing you've seen at the table?
Well, like
that involves you.
My biggest win in a single session was like I spun up 1,000 to 21,400.
Was that recently?
No, this was back in 2018, maybe.
Okay.
And it's crazy because at the time, it's weird how things work. You know, like 3 days before this, my engine cracked in my car. And I had no money saved up or anything like that, like to get a car. And then 3 days later, I'm in the game at Damon's, and it was on a Monday night. It was like a 5, 10, 25 with a rock or some crazy shit like that. I don't know. But it started at 7, and it ended at 1:30 in the morning.
And you cashed out 21
grand. I
racks.
had 21 grand.
Hey, no, you know what? I appreciate the story that you went from the beginning and to the end without telling me all the stories in between, because that's the last thing we want to hear is more hands.
Right.
No one wants to hear a bunch of hands. It's very hard to follow.
It was just great because at the time I never had that much money in front of me in my entire life before the 21,000. I told you, when I had like, first of all, I wasn't counting my chips.
Yeah.
I didn't have them in a way where I could count them because I didn't want to. I kind of had, but I still had them stacked up like nice, but I didn't know how much I had. And then finally I was like, you know what, I'm counting my chips. And I started getting to 9,000, and I was like 10,000. Like, what the fuck? I've never had this much money.
So you didn't even know how much you had?
No, not until probably like I would say like a 3-hour point or whatever, and then.
That's not really like professional, right? Like,
so
like professionals know exactly how much.
Well, that was fucking 6 years ago. You know, thousands of things have changed since then, but I just mean like it was crazy because when I did start counting them, I was like, all right, there's no way I'm fucking losing this. I got to lock this up.
Do you leave immediately?
No, for like literally, I'm not lying. For like 40 minutes, I just acted like I look at my cards and I fold. Yeah, and occasionally I might call the big blind. It's still not looking at my cards, and then it's fold. Yeah, but the thing is, there was one guy that was single-handedly putting all the money in the game. Right, this old guy named Wagner.
Steve Wagner, I remember.
Yeah, Steve Wagner. Yeah.
Yep. So what's the craziest? What did you do with that money? That 21. That right?
Well, that's what I was saying. It was crazy because my car.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's bought a new car with it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, not all of the money was mine, unfortunately, but half of it was, you know. So that was great, and you know, basically, I had a friend who was like, "Dude, here," he gave me this card to call this cash car guy, and like I talked to him, and
he swept up a car.
Yeah, it was a Hyundai actually. I love that car too, man. Okay. I had it paid off and everything. Like it was great. And then 2020 came along, and I got in the most serious car wreck I've ever been in my life.
Shit.
Yeah, I was cruising down George Bush. It just started to rain out of nowhere. I guess I was going a little bit too fast. I hit something in the road, and normally I can control. I've always been good about not overcorrecting, but yeah, overcorrected and just like completely bam slammed into the concrete barrier. It shot me across the fucking highway. All my airbags deployed. And I just remember if my car.
Did you black out or were you conscious the whole time?
No, I was conscious, like, but it was just this real whirlwind, like, crazy experience. Like, I literally thought I was gonna die. Like, that was it, you know?
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, also I didn't get hit in the face by my airbag because my seatbelt had me so restrained in my fucking seat,
Yeah.
which thanks to Hyundai for saving my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then here I am again, no car, like,
But you're gonna.
that was 2 years later.
You're gonna get a big lake and a circle of life again. You're gonna get a nice new car.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I feel like these days things are a little bit different. I mean, could always be better, but I've turned over a new leaf in some things, like with the way I play, and proof is in the pudding sometimes, you know, like
That's
I've been
good.
booking wins, like, you know, and playing different games, so.
I like it. You're real sharp now. So, since you've been in poker a long time, I know you've seen a lot of shit. What's the craziest thing you've seen that's non-hand poker related? Just like, you know, the outside the poker.
One time, Keto Fam came to a game that I was at. It was like Sarah and Medi's game, and he came super early in the morning, like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he was coked out of his fucking mind, you know, and like.
Put this online.
Oh, sorry.
No, like
Well,
he drank a
don't
lot of
put this online
Coca-Cola
anyways,
and
'cause
Diet Pepsi. I got
Don't put
it.
this online. This is just going to be.
Yeah, I got you.
This should be just a rough draft.
Okay, rough draft,
And I want
got
to come
you.
back and do it. And
Yeah.
Like look.
So what happened after that?
Well, he said that he would not buy in unless Medi let him do a line off his head.
His
And
bald
so
head.
everybody's like, "Get your ass in here right now!" Like they're just
And
like,
Manny,
dragging
by
him
the
in
way,
there.
is a bald dude,
Yeah,
right?
and then
Yeah.
he dumped this fucking bag of cocaine on Medi's head and just went, "Rah!" and just fucking did it, and then licked it. And then he's like, "Give me 100,000."
Oh my god, you cannot make this shit up. And I know that guy, so I know you're
He's
not
so
far
crazy, bro. Like,
off. I couldn't.
I'm not.